In this lesson, we're going to be talking about evasion, and specifically, what is evasion? Evasion is what you would expect evasion to be, just simply based on the definition of the word. When you evade something, you're trying to get away from it. So, evasion, in terms of ethical hacking, what is it we're trying to avoid? Well, for a start, we're trying to avoid getting caught. We don't want to have the people at our target find out what it is we're doing, particularly if what we're doing is sort of a red team approach where they don't know that we're trying to attack them. In more practical terms, what are we trying to avoid? We're trying to avoid detection by a firewall. In other words, we want to be able to get through the firewall, so we don't want the firewall to actually be able to block what it is we're trying to accomplish, so we want to evade the firewall. We also want to evade intrusion detection systems because that's going to set off alerts as to what it is we're doing. So using evasion, there's lots of different techniques. We've got things like log alteration, where you can't see what I've done if I've removed the evidence of it. You can hide amidst noise. In other words, if there's a lot of things going on, you may be able to slip some things in. You can do a low and slow approach, where you're only sending messages to your target on a very infrequent basis, so they're not going to notice something like a fast and heavy-handed port scan. If you were to slow it down and only send a couple of packets here and there over the course of several hours or days, they may not be able to see what it is you're doing. There are other types of evasive tactics. Unicode attacks were pretty popular for a while, where rather than sending single byte ASCII characters, you would send multi-byte Unicode characters. And if the IDS or the firewall weren't capable of seeing that sort of thing, then you may be able to get in that way. Fragmentation attacks also have been popular from time to time, where if I send a fragmented packet, a badly fragmented packet, these different systems may not have the ability to stop and put the whole packet together before sending the fragments on their way to the eventual destination. So as I said, there's lots of different techniques and tactics involved in doing evasion, and it takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of skill and some understanding to know what sorts of techniques and tactics you can use at any given point. Sometimes it's just a matter of brute forcing it and trying a lot of different evasions in order to see what's going to get through in the case of trying to get through a firewall, for example. But doing evasion, understanding evasion is a really good strategy. It's a good set of tactics and techniques to have under your belt so that you can continue to be successful in getting into your targets as you go forward with your penetration testing and ethical hacking activities. Why evasion? You want to be able to avoid detection. The other really important thing is that malicious attackers are going to have similar strategies, and so if you can get in and avoid detection, or if you can slip attacks in using these evasive maneuvers, then it exposes additional weaknesses in your target.